My name's Dr. Darren Yamarino, and I'm a professor in the Religious Studies department, and I'm also in the Classics and Humanities department. I created a system based on like 5 religious ultimates, because everyone wants to talk about God, and that's great, because that's a major aspect of religion. But a lot of Buddhists aren't really concerned with God. That storehouse consciousness concept I discussed is identified by a lot of people as a completely separate, non-theistic, they would call it, religious ultimate. So my whole argument that I make in my own personal interest is that you need these 5 ultimates. They each have a different nature and function. But all 5 of them are mutually presupposing and mutually grounding. So what that means is if you took away one of the 5, whatever function it was providing now has to be given to one of the remaining 4. If you take away 4 of these 5 ultimates, all the functions now have to fall on, say, God, just one of them. And that's what a lot of people do, is I think they're putting too much. They're trying to fold all of these attributes, functions onto God as a supreme being or entity. And when you do that, not only does it not do justice to all of the religious traditions and their history, but it creates a lot of philosophical problems, which might seem like, who cares? Well, philosophical problems in religion, theological problems lead to people being killed. I think we're all aware of that. So it actually matters a great deal, all of these ideas. You're never going to appeal to a certain group of religious individuals. And I don't mean just Christians or Buddhists or whatever. People that are fundamentalists in whatever religion, they're exclusivists. So it's like my way or the highway thing. And that's fine, and they have what works for them. It makes sense to me because for a lot of these people, they got into that religion specifically because it got them out of an existential crisis. If you take away some of that and say, but your religion isn't true or it's not the complete truth, now you've potentially pulled the carpet out from underneath my feet about what's been keeping me from maybe committing suicide even, or got me off of drugs or something like that. It's a shame though, because I think that if people would broaden their sort of horizons, they would see yes, Christianity may have helped you get out of this pit of despair you were in, and that's awesome. And it's a hope that can never be sort of falsified until you die. Who knows if they're right or wrong. But that doesn't mean that other religions aren't providing a systematic framework of hopes for different problems that you might face in life. And they might actually have a better answer, or more practical, how's that, answer for you. So there's a good reason for having interreligious dialogue. And there's a good reason for dialogue between atheists as well, because a lot of atheists think, hey, destroy religion, there's no value in it for the 21st century, but they're totally misunderstanding the fact that, one, you'll never destroy it, so why even bother? It's not going to happen. But more importantly, they're missing that hope function of religion. It's not just about truth. So what if the truth claims made by certain religions are wrong? If in the end it keeps you going, keeps people happy, and progress is still being made, then why would you even want to try and destroy it?
Are you religious?
I am, but that's a difficult question to answer because, well, time. We probably wouldn't have the time to go into it in depth, but I'm interested in some of these alternative forms of theism. So, normally God is understood to be an all-powerful, all-knowing being, right? And there's an anthropomorphic element. Somehow God is understood or perceived as being human-like, having human attributes. There's problems with the classical version of theism. There's philosophical problems. The problem of evil could come about. So I've sort of created my own version of not even just theism, my own sort of religious belief. Because that's something else that may be of interest, is that it's commonly assumed that religion is about God, which is of course true, but God may be only one of multiple forms, religious objects, things that people may be aiming at as far as their religious practices and beliefs. And when you take that stance, that there's multiple religious ultimates, at that point it opens up totally new ways of experiencing reality, really.